Hi, and welcome to Geno'S Picks. I don't know if you were here last week, but if you haven't been by, you're lost. Daddy went 4-0 again. You know what I mean? A lot of money to be made. But first, you know what really grinds my gears? People that don't watch Geno'S Picks. I went 4-0 last week. I am 18-6 on the year. I am giving money away, but still, people think I'm just a little pretty face with all glitter and dick jokes. I am, but Daddy's got a point. That's what grinds my gears. Let's make some money. Pick number 1, the 49ers getting 10.5 points versus the Giants in the Meadowlands. Yes, we all saw the Giants lose to Cleveland Monday night. Yes, we know Eli Manning is hurt with a bruised chest from that big man Shaun Rodgers falling on him. In fact, only 6 other people have been pounded that hard by a black man in history, and they were all Madonna in the late 80s. But let's look at who they're playing. Mike Martz. Anyone that's ever owned a fantasy player of Mike Martz knows the pattern. First couple weeks they do great, and then they vanish. See John Kitna every fucking year. Everyone knows Mike Martz is as great an offensive coordinator as he is a terrible head coach. And while the head coach in Mike Martz should take another chance on Alex Smith, the stubborn motherfucker that is the offensive coordinator will not quit on JT O'Sullivan, who, by the way, has thrown 5 picks in the past 2 weeks, and his confidence is at an all-time low. My point? Eli Manning will show why a great quarterback isn't set back by bruised ribs and why a lesser quarterback is hurt by a bruised ego. That would be JT O'Sullivan. Daddy says take the Giants, give 10.5. The Jets are giving 3 to the Raiders in Oakland. The last 2 times Brett Favre has gone to California were in 2003 when he played the Raiders and in 1998 when he filmed Something About Mary, and both ended the same, with someone having a big load dropped on them. We all remember the load Cameron Diaz had dropped on her, almost as well as we remember the 41 points that Brett Favre dropped on the Raiders in that game. Okay? Speaking of movies, the Raiders looked clueless against the Saints last week, and that is not because of new coach Tom Cable, as much as because of old owner Al Davis. Al Davis is the problem, and thinking that replacing a coach every year and keeping Al Davis will work is like thinking that telling a battered woman to leave her husband will help. You need to address the problem and teach that bitch how to cook. Am I right? Seriously, in both cases, the dude is the problem, and until he's removed, nothing is going to go well. And who's going to suffer the most? The children, or in this case, the Raiders fans. The Raiders have all but given up on their team, okay? They're not supportive. They're barely going to the games. Raiders tickets are selling worse than the dreidel in 1944 Germany. You know what I mean? And even then, the people who wanted to buy them were afraid to admit it. What's my point? Home field advantage in Oakland has gone into the shitter. Take the Jets, give the 3. Which brings me to my lock of the week. The Panthers are giving 8 points to the Chiefs in Arrowhead. All right. Remember a couple weeks ago when the really good Broncos offense went into Arrowhead and I said they were going to have trouble? Because it's Arrowhead. They're not very friendly there. Well, now you've got a so-so offense in the Panthers going in there, okay? And it's not going to be easy for Steve Smith to beat the corners of Kansas City like he beats the corners on his own team, Ken Lucas. Ouch, okay? And here's what I really think plays into it. Simply put, the Panthers think they're a pretty good team. The Chiefs know they absolutely suck. And the Panthers are going to try and play like, you know, we learned from last week to run the ball more. And they're going to send like the ball to D'Angelo Williams and who's the other guy, Chris Johnson. Let me tell you something. The Chiefs defense are going to swallow up those 2 big black men like Shyla Styles in Black on Blonde 6. You know what I mean? They're not going to cover that huge spread. The lock of the week, Daddy says take the Chiefs, take the 8. Which brings me to my double your money Monday night bet, or as I like to call it, run to the bank like you stole something on Tuesday. The Patriots are giving 3 points to Denver and Foxborough. What have we learned from the Patriots so far? Well, in week 3, they played the Dolphins. They were underprepared. They got killed, so they overprepared against the Cardinals in week 5. They did everything you thought they weren't able to do, even hit Randy Moss with a bomb. All right, what'd they do last week? They underachieved. They did not execute against San Diego. So what are they going to do this week, Monday night? Overachieve. Over-execute if that's possible outside of World War II Germany. Another one. All right, my point is in fantasy leagues, start every Patriot you have. Castle, Moss, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Gaffney. Let's take it a step further. Jay Cutler is a great quarterback. I really do like him, even though I don't like Denver. But he does not like the spotlight. I'm not saying he's nervous and won't play well. I'm saying he doesn't like it. It annoys him, and he will be over anxious. He'll try too hard to score early, like I tried too hard to tell that joke. My point is, take every Patriot you can, with the exception of Lawrence Maroney, who stinks and never plays. You know that guy from Mesa State had the amputation of his pinky so he doesn't miss a game? Lawrence Maroney needs something amputated so he doesn't miss any more games. His vagina. Take the Patriots, give to 3. Those are Geno's picks.